An Introduction to NHS Continuing Healthcare, CHC. NHS Continuing Healthcare, CHC, is a fully funded package of care that some people over the age of 18 are entitled to receive because of disability, accident or illness. The funding provided is not means tested and is free at the point of access. There are two types of CHC funding, CHC and Fast Track CHC. Fast Track CHC is for individuals who have been assessed as being in a terminal phase of their illness and who are experiencing a rapid decline in their health. A clinician must refer an individual for Fast Track CHC. A clinician could be a GP, hospital consultant, district nurse, or a hospice nurse. To access CHC, which is not Fast Track, an application is usually done in two stages. First, a checklist completed by a health or social care professional is used to decide if a full assessment is needed. And secondly, a full assessment, a detailed review of the person's health and social care needs using the Decision Support Tool, DST. We spoke to David about his experience of accessing CHC. Here is his story. David was diagnosed with motor neuron disease, MND, in 2012. Over a period of time, David lost the use of his arms and hands, and later his legs.
I wasn't aware of CHC at all, and I think that's one of the failings, if you like. There's a lack of awareness of CHC funding in the first place. But I did become aware of it through our MND Association local care development advisor in around about 2016.
David asked his occupational therapist about CHC. They went through the checklist process but agreed that the scores were not high enough to proceed.
A couple of years later, my mobility was getting worse. My legs were going, my arms really couldn't do anything. So I said to our OT, how about going through it again? And this time I scored enough to at least proceed to the, through the qualifying round checklist to the Decision Support Tool, and I had my first full assessment in 2019.
David was not successful on this occasion. Approximately 2 years later, David had a second Decision Support Tool assessment. There were two major differences to his previous assessment.
I'd been prescribed non-invasive ventilation overnight, and secondly, at the second assessment, I had my MND specialist nurse with me in the room, and that's really important because she could act as a translator between myself and the assessor, so that I can understand the language that the assessor was using to me. And I'm pretty certain that in one or two of the domains, she was able to advance me up, one leg and perhaps give me more marks because she understood the condition far better than the assessor and far better than many other medical professionals.
David's advice could be invaluable for others considering applying for CHC.
One of the big things is that when you come to go through the checklist, especially if you've got a specialist practitioner or trusted healthcare person. I would say a healthcare person rather than a social care person, because I think the medical side is kind of more important, but obviously it's very useful to have somebody from social care in the room as well. But in particular, advice as to your condition and how you fit in with the checklist and then with the DST is very important. And as I say, the big bonus for me was having the specialist nurse practitioner in the room for the second assessment. I would prepare a care diary. We did one for Helen several years ago, and I must update it, but it details absolutely everything that Helen, my carer, does for me for 24 hours, from lifting the non-invasive ventilation mask off my head in the morning, to propping me up, to bringing me my tea with a straw in it, to getting me out of bed and onto the shower commode chair, perhaps onto the toilet, away from the toilet and into the shower, out of the shower, into the chair, hoisted into the chair, and then preparing breakfast. And it just goes on and on. And it runs to several pages, my care diary. And it really does show the complexity, intensity and unpredictability. These are three very important words with the CHC system. It shows those three facets off to great effect. Another top tip on CHC applications is to talk about your worst day. Some people are proud of what they can still do and they're very positive, but they can also have, say, even the next day with a condition which is unpredictable, their very worst day. So please accentuate that, because those are the times when you need the care in place to help you. You might be having a choking fit or something like that. So yeah, don't overplay your best day. Talk about your worst days.
He would like to remind people that CHC is not just reserved for end-of-life care.
That is one of the first things I learned, is that you don't have to be on your deathbed to qualify for CHC. It's all about the domains in the decision support tool. People who get that, if you like, thrown at them should actually question it politely, at least. If you have been successful, don't accept what the authorities want to give you. We certainly found them very flexible, and we didn't want, although I probably qualified for it, we didn't want 24/7 care. But we have a package which includes 2 nights, which gives Helen a chance for a bit of respite care by sleeping upstairs. But we also have 3 or 4 mornings now, so it works very well and gives us privacy, over the long weekend from Friday to Monday. So we're very happy with that. So don't just accept what they want to give you. Negotiate and see if you can get a plan which is best for you. Overall experience, both with the care agency and with our CHC care handler here in Surrey, has been very good indeed.
There are several things to consider when thinking about a CHC application. Consider asking a health or social care professional if they would be willing to attend the assessment or to help prepare you for it. Someone who knows about your specific condition or needs if possible. Try to get letters from healthcare professionals involved in your care, supporting your needs. Consider preparing a care diary, as David says, thinking about your worst day and the care you need. Consult the 12 domains of the Decision Support Tool, DST, in advance to see how your needs fit into them. And keep a diary of the process all the way through, from checklist, full assessment and to possible appeal. Although a referral from a clinician is required for fast-track CHC, if you or someone you care for has been assessed as being in a terminal phase of their illness, it may be worth asking about continuing healthcare funding. Further information about continuing healthcare is available on the following websites: our Healthwatch Surrey website in the Information and Advice section, the NHS England website under NHS Continuing Healthcare, and the Beacon website under their Free Information and Advice section. Thank you to David for his time in making this video with us, and to others who we have spoken to about their experience of CHC funding.